Hello everybody, it's Sophie. It's been a while, I know, but today we're going to be discussing something you've probably seen a lot of recently, and that's Rubus fruticosus, or the European blackberry. So I'm sure you already know how to identify these, as they're a very common sight in the UK around this time of year. But I'll be sharing some facts with you today that you might not already know. And just to pre-warn you, a couple of these facts are a little bit on the morbid side, so I hope you're ready. Let me just get my phone voice on. So, here in the UK, in the summer and autumn months, blackberries are a very common sight. Their Latin name is Rubus fruticosus. They're a member of the rose family, or Rosaceae, and they bear fruit from June to September. There are over 330 different species of blackberries, some upright, some trailing, and some thornless. Some species remain extremely localised to specific areas in the UK, and this is due to their method of reproduction known as apomixis. And this means that the bramble can bear seed without a second plant needed for pollination. When fully ripe, blackberries turn from deep purple to black in colour. The flowers of blackberry bushes can be identified by their clusters of whitish pink flowers which appear during May to August, and they're roughly 2 to 3 centimetres in diameter with 5 petals and many stamens. The leaves are palmately compound, meaning that the leaf arrangement consists of 3 or more leaves attached to the petiole or leaf stalk. And the underside of the blackberry leaf has a thorny ridge in the centre. Although blackberries are widely regarded as a berry, botanically speaking they're described as an aggregate fruit, a berry made up of multiple drupes. Historically, European blackberry species have been used in herbal medicine for their antimicrobial, anti-diabetic and antioxidant properties, as they contain high amounts of tannins, niacin, vitamin C, natural sugars and anthocyanins. And not only are blackberries a brilliant health-promoting wild food, they're a highly versatile ingredient and can be used fresh or frozen for equally impressive results. I've used them in jams, scones, cordials and ice cubes so far, but there's so much more you can do. Like add them to frozen yoghurt, use as a donut filling, use for flapjacks, muffins, cakes, pies, tarts and liqueurs. So this is where things are going to get slightly morbid. So blackberries are a useful tool in forensic botany, mainly because of where they grow in locations like woodlands, roadsides and wasteland. Not only this, but their growth structure is very important too. All members of the Rosaceae family have similar but not identical growth and root structures, forming underground growth shoots that will emerge from the soil and reattach to the ground beneath, forming a natural tripwire on the ground that is guaranteed to inconvenience any rambler or passerby. I'll read an excerpt from Mark Spencer's article, The Secret Life of Brambles. Mark Spencer is a forensic botanist who uses brambles in particular to investigate crime scenes. He says, once a dead person is placed in a natural environment, surrounding plants and animals respond and accommodate it. Take the bramble, for example, he says. To most people, they're a straggling tripwire guaranteed to snag you while you're trampling through the countryside. And they tend to be common in places where people are, because of the presence of human activity through agriculture, sewage or transport. All of this increases the nutrient load of the soil and watercourses. And this suits the bramble just fine, as they are greedy feeders. So the extra nutrients we supply are to their liking. So they thrive in these conditions, and that's what makes them useful, as what you may call a vegetable calendar. Blackberries not only provide forensic evidence via the snag of their thorns, but their growth habits are very sensitive to the activity of humans. There are also many myths and legends surrounding blackberries, one of which being, according to folklore, when the devil was cast out of heaven by St. Michael, he landed on a bramble bush and cursed it, by apparently spitting on it. So it was believed that this caused blackberries to become unpalatable around September the 29th, or St. Michael's Day, after which they supposedly should not be picked. But if this doesn't put you off growing blackberries in your garden, please bear in mind that it is not advised to plant raspberries and blackberries within a close proximity of one another, as they're both susceptible to the same diseases, being members of the same family. They commonly suffer from botrytis, wilt, fungal diseases and rust. And interestingly, the rust that brambles suffer with in particular, the violet bramble rust, is an obligate biotroph, meaning that it's a parasitic disease that can only survive on a living host, and therefore keeps its host alive. So here we have it, the humble, underestimated blackberry, cursed by the devil, kept alive by a parasite, a crime scene investigator, and a healthy, tasty addition to many wild dishes. What's not to love? I'd like to thank you so much for watching this video, and if you've enjoyed it, please like and subscribe.